Hey, welcome to another episode of Real Conversation. I'm your host, Nicole Jones,
And I'm Quana Terry.
and we would like to thank every last one of you guys for joining us here tonight. But while I have your attention, can you all please just smash that like button so our video can get pushed through the algorithm so other people like you can see our show.
Yes, please do that. And subscribe as well. We would love to um, have you as a subscriber on our YouTube channel as well. But oh my gosh, Nicole, how are you doing? We're here another week.
Oh, girl, I'm doing amazing actually. Yes, we are. Uh listen, I had such an amazing day today. Very restful day. So, I'm actually good. How about you?
I'm
Looking
wonderful.
beautiful over there.
Thank you so much. So are you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm wonderful. I cannot complain. Thank you, Lord. But let's go on and get into the meat and potatoes of tonight's show. Um, as we all know, and I hate to start the show off with something as so serious and somber as this, but it's important, so we need to talk about it, and it affects every one of us here in the United States. As you may already know, on February 28th, the US and Iran have now entered into a war. Many people are saying that it's going to be considered World War III, and I am hoping that it doesn't get to a magnitude of that. But there's a lot of things going on. They're talking about nuclear attacks and things of that nature. So we are, of course, following the story, just trying to make sure that we are giving you the correct information, because there's so much information that's being funneled through the media, on the socials. A lot of people have so many perspectives or even opinions about what's going on, and it's hard to sometimes to figure out what's fact and what's fiction. But for the most part, what's true is that we are at war. I do not know what's to come, but there is a lot of unrest. Of course, it there should be, and a lot of uncertainty about where we stand as a country and how that will affect us going forward. Nicole, do you have an opinion on the situation at all?
To be honest with you, I don't. I mean, outside of the fact that this is considered World War III, I have no words. I don't think that we should be at war right now. All the things that was put in place, they were working. Why is it that we're here? We shouldn't be here. We really shouldn't be here, and it's sad. That's all I gotta say about that one.
Yeah, I think, there was always, it was rising tensions, mainly because um, Israel, who is, of course, an ally of ours, they were in civil unrest with Iran. And we, as the United States, have to come to the aid of our allies. Would I have done so? I don't know. I personally feel like, Israel was definitely being preyed upon by Iran. Iran is a huge deal, and they normally they go after the little guy. So this is exactly what's happening, and they've killed thousands of Israeli civilians. There were some attacks on their compounds. It's just, it's a lot going on. And the US, of course, and I really believe that President Trump some time ago told Israel, help is on the way. So I'm going to assume this is what he means by help. And now, the nuclear missiles have been activated, and I'm just hoping that it doesn't cause us any catastrophes. I'm hoping that there be some peace talks in the upcoming future, in the upcoming weeks, I should say, or even days, so that we can get this under control, because we as a country don't need that. So I guess, more to come on that.
I mean, the crazy thing is, Obama already had something, a deal in place when it came to Iran's nuclear, bombs and stuff like that. And when Trump came into office, he basically ripped that deal up, which I think is very adolescent of him.
Mm.
There are certain things that are put in place for a reason. There's always been an issue with Iran, trying to go after the little guys or whatever the case may be. This is an ongoing situation for years. So to be so stubborn, and he basically gets his own way. He's basically, remember when what's his name, the singer, I think his name is Lloyd. Remember when he was dancing on stage and he tripped over his own foot? That's Trump right now. Every situation that he does, he creates his own situations. There should be no reason why we're at war right now. That's just, how I feel in regards to this one particular situation. Iran is always going to be an issue, but I think that if he played his cards right, if he sat there and implemented all the things that was already put in place for him, and then he would have just, piggyback off of that and did whatever he needs to do from there, I don't think we would be at war right now.
Yeah, well, peace talks may not be where we are right now, and I was talking about peace talks before. I just saw that President Trump saying that there'll likely be more U.S. troops dying because they will continue to coordinate new attacks on Iran. The U.S.-Israeli home front, they will actually continue attacks throughout the week. So he says more U.S. troops likely to die, and that's the way he put it. And it's so
distasteful.
Yeah, because I think there should be a level of decorum when you're talking about people who are going to pass away. They could say something like, there will be additional casualties or something that just that softens the blow, but there's likely be more U.S. troops that die. Like, I read that, I'm like, yo, like, it's so just crass, and I don't like it. But that has been the posture of our president since he has been in office. So, we can't expect anything less than that, right? So more to come on that. Keep an eye on our Facebook page. We may post updates there throughout the week as the war unfolds. And I'm praying that it does not reach any of us here in inland, so that and we're not really affected by it. But we'll see what happens, child. You just never know when it comes to war. So more to come on that. All right, Nicole, what's the next topic?
Okay, so I came across this this video about a DoorDash driver. He was caught on camera, basically calling a 12-year-old boy beautiful. Like, he's supposed to be doing a delivery. But I have audio, for you guys to hear it. And let's go to that audio right now, okay?
Hey, how you doing, DoorDash? Here you go. Thank you. You are beautiful. Are you taking? What? I'm saying you are beautiful. Are you taking?
I assume that's the door slamming. Like, get the hell out of here.
First of all, if you heard the young boy, he couldn't believe that this boy just said what he said. This guy just said what he said. Like, are you serious? He just slammed. I could just see him like slamming that door.
That, I mean, we could laugh about it. That just thinking about it gives me pause, right?
Mhm.
The fact that he was so comfortable saying that, and he can clearly see that the boy is underage. I know
Yes.
he can. So,
Mhm.
and that's why he calls him beautiful, because no
Mhm.
grown man wants to be called beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So he
Right.
called him beautiful because, and you know that because you recognizing that he is a child, and that right there is so alarming to me, especially in the wake of all the child trafficking that there
Oh,
is out there. You know what I'm saying? Like
yes.
it's that's so alarming to me. And the fact that now you know where I live, okay? You know where I live, so you have the potential to follow me
Mm, that part.
to school, to anywhere I'm going. Like that is so scary. Did they arrest this guy or what?
So he wasn't arrested. The picture that I do have, he's been arrested. So they did identify who he was, but this is the part that got me, because DoorDash had to put a statement out. Right? DoorDash said this is absolutely vile. He was never given access to our platform and was fraudulently using someone else's account. We've banned the account and are in contact with law enforcement to hold him accountable. So hopefully they do get him.
Yo, so he's not even authorized to utilize the DoorDash app. And I think too, when you do DoorDash, you have to go through like a background check and stuff like that. So he probably a freaking um, sex offender or something. Freaking loser. I get like, because these are our children, and you have people out there that's preying on our children like this. And it's
Yeah.
an innocent child coming to the door to get their food. You know what I'm saying? There
Yeah.
was a movie that I watched. It broke my heart. Broke my heart. I believe it was called The Sound of Freedom, and it was based on a true story. And it's similar to the fact that the parents actually responded to an ad for their children to be models, and this was in Colombia. They responded to an ad that said that they would be models, they'd be taken care of, and this, that, and the third. So the father went with the children, a boy and a girl, brother and sister, of course, went with them to the call. And then he was staying with them. The rest of the parents just came and dropped their kids off. And he was like, you know what? Nope, I'm staying. So they were like, well, you know what? It's going to be a couple of hours. You can come back at this time. When he came back, the warehouse was empty. Like no one was ever there. And for years, they had been looking for their children. Okay. And they were in a child sex trafficking ring.
Wow.
Okay, where in these nasty men, they were selling it to people in the US, to these men in the United States, and they were doing unspeakable things to these children. Okay, and a US government, I think he was CIA or federal agent, something like that. He had it in his heart to help. He was like, it was just pulling on him, and he ended up finding the children, finding more children. But this is something that is prevalent in so many different countries. So and then here in the United States, they take the children. So say for instance, the ring cam, he didn't have a ring cam, and he decided to snatch the little boy up.
Right.
That little boy would have been on somebody's boat or in the back of somebody's trunk on the way into Mexico. You know what I'm saying? It's like I take this very seriously, because these people are horrible, and they prey, prey, on children, and because they're so innocent and unassuming, and it's just not right. I'm sorry, I'm on my soapbox, my bad, but I get so mad at that.
This is why we gotta speak to our children and let them know, show, like, abreast them on these situations so they can understand what to do and what not to do. Because and this was in North Carolina. I forgot to mention that part. This happened in North Carolina, but
freaking loser. Oh my God.
As a grown adult, when I order and I go to the door, I always open the door with my foot to the back of the door. You know what I mean? I do not open it all the way, because things do happen. And I'm like, and for a kid, like, remember back in the days when the parent were like, you go home, you hear the doorbell, and they were like, get away from my door, because parents would go to the door. But 9 times out of 10, like nowadays, these kids all go to the door. You know, it's just freely, but things happen, and
you know what? It could be too. Like the parent may not be there, right? So, okay, I'm hungry, Ma. Okay, do not cook. Don't burn down my house. I'm gonna send you a DoorDash. Yep. Okay, and these are people that's supposed to be screened well enough to be able to even handle this task. He, on the other hand, wasn't even authorized to even be doing DoorDash. So that's a huge breakdown in the system as well with DoorDash and Uber Eats, because I know people who use other people's accounts to do shopping and Instacart and stuff like that. There has to be another way. But I'm happy. I'm hoping they catch him and just put him where he needs to be.
And it's crazy because if someone decided, let's say he was out of work and someone decided, oh, you know, I'm not using my DoorDash. I'll let you use it, you know, just to help you out, and whatever you make, I'll send it to you, and you go and do this. And now,
but the crazy part is they're not even supposed to do that. So
I know you're not.
Now that you expose that, now of course the account that he was using, that they said it was taken down, it was revoked, the privileges were revoked, so you done mess with this person's account and they can't do anything.
They can't do nothing now.
Yeah, but I bet you that person didn't even know that guy was even into stuff like that.
Of course not.
Child, bye. So anyway, but yeah, I hope Nicole, please follow this story. I want to see what they do, because that's horrible. Anyway,
I hope they find him quick and fast. And being that they have a mugshot of him from September of 2025, you know, they'd be able to locate him pretty quick.
That means he was doing some stuff out there in the streets. All right, we'll see what happens. But hey, listen, maybe not, because I got a mugshot too, child. I was smiling though. So so that's a case of F around and finds out. We got listen, Quanta is not perfect, okay? She is not. She been through some things. So that's why I can sit here and tell you, stop, don't do it. No, don't do it. Sound like Joe from Mazia. No, don't do it. Don't do it. I can tell you that because I've been through some stuff and I've seen a lot of things, and I'm not perfect. So they were lessons that I needed to learn in order to grow. So some people just don't learn their lessons, you know, and that's unfortunate. But yeah, so that's the case of F around and finds out. There's another case of F around and find out that we want to talk about, right, Nicole?
Oh gosh. So the crazy part is we have a situation where there's a young lady who caught her man cheating. And instead of approaching her man about it, which is the only person you should be talking to in this kind of situation, but she didn't approach her man, and she didn't approach the woman who her man cheated. She went and attacked the mother, the female's mother. And apparently she effed around and found out, because 72 hours, they found her deceased.
Okay, back that up. Back that thing up. So it was her husband?
No. This is her boyfriend.
Okay, her boyfriend.
Her boyfriend was cheating with a young lady.
Okay, I'm following.
So instead of, you know, talking to her boyfriend about it, or even the young lady about it, she went to the young lady's mother's apartment and proceeded to hit the mother. She slapped the mother in the face 3 times. It's recorded. Okay, there's a recording of it. The mother did, and according to the video, it looks like nothing happened. Okay, it looked like after the mother closed the door, nothing happened. But apparently, 72 hours after that happened, the mother's family found her and did what they needed to do to her. And this happened in Atlanta, Georgia. They did what they did to her, and they found her body.
You know, you got to be careful. Like, for every action, there is a consequence. You know what I'm saying? I that wasn't warranted. You know, if anything, you know, speak to your man about that. Like, he's the one that's out there, you know, laying it low, spreading it wide. Like, he the one doing all that. Speak to him. And even if you had an issue, which clearly she did, that the mom off limits. Mom off limits, have nothing to do with anything. And I don't know if she was doing it to send a message, but you don't know who you sending messages to. You better be careful.
That's right.
Listen, you better be careful about who you trying to send a message to. You don't know who's who. You don't know who knows what or who knows who. So
and she smacked her so hard 3 times. And I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked at the mother. She could have just been shocked too, but she was just like, "Oh, really? We doing that?" She closed the door. So I seen, and it's crazy. I seen this video. I want to say this had to happen between December and January. This had to happen between December and January, but it's when I seen it, it said that she passed away. And the officers, the law enforcement actually caught 2 of the people who did it.
Okay.
But yeah.
And for them too, that's a consequence of their actions. You know, every particular action carries a certain energy signature. So once you do that, once you release that into the world, into the universe, or whatever else, that energy is going to return to you. And you don't get to decide how it returns to you.
Yeah, it's a boomerang.
You know what I'm saying? So it's whatever you put out there, that's what you're gonna get back. And listen, what I do know, like, because we always talk about karma, we talk about universal law. It's also biblical, right? And the same measure you give is what you're gonna receive. But you gotta. It says, press down, shaking together, and runneth over. You know what that is? That's like 10-fold, 7-fold. So you go ahead and F around if you want, and send something and do something to somebody. We're going to talk about when you do something to somebody unjustly, because that was unjust on her part. You know what I'm saying? And then she ends up getting that double portion of her karma, and that really is the lesson here. You know. That's the lesson, but a lesson for the people as well. Because sometimes, you know, I always tell people, like, you know, they probably didn't set out to maybe kill her. They probably set out to beat her badly, but she succumbed to her injuries. And that's another thing, is like, the vengeance is mine, says the Lord. You don't take it into your hands, take it upon yourself to do certain things. And if you are going to do that, you prepare to reap what you sow as well. So it's just like a constant circle, you know, it's like never ending of, you know, actions and consequences. You know, it just, that's so sad, so sad. And you know, I could say that she deserved it. I could say that, but who am I to say that, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say she deserved it. I mean, I understand why they went after her, but I wish that they didn't, you know, she didn't end up losing her life to it, you know?
I know. Because that's a lesson that I would have wanted her to learn and sit with, right? But unfortunately, God, you know, whatever it is, it brings swift justice. Swift. You don't know who's who out here in these streets. So it's whatever he decides, because he's the author and finisher of our fate, and he's the one that can give life and take away. So if he allowed it to happen, there's something in it. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, too, you know, when things like that happen, I got to think about when the people that actually performed the act, right? So the people that actually went in and beat her to death, if you will, right? It's like, sometimes when I think about things like that, I think about, well, maybe God used this situation to get those people, you know?
It's very possible.
You know, so it's like, I don't know. I think about it in that light, in that respect. I'm like, let me see, you know, to try to make some sense of it. But, you know, she was dead wrong in the beginning, and she got whatever it is she got. And then the people who did it to her, got what they got. It's like, dang, everybody got. You
It's
got the
crazy because I'm
bag.
in my head trying to see how can I use this. And you
Everybody
said
got
that, I'm like, because I'm like, because she went and got it to get it, they got it. I'm like, no, that don't sound right. You was like, everybody got to get got.
That's how it is. Like everybody get got. You attached to it, you getting got. Okay,
It
and,
is
and
what
what
it is.
sucks is that too is that the people who stick around and planned this, who was associated with too, they're gonna get got too, but maybe in a different way. So it's
Listen,
like just mind your business.
that's
And,
all.
and call the cops. She was on camera. She should have gotten arrested.
Yeah,
Okay, there was another way that they could have handled that. But I
yeah.
get it, when you're in the heat of the moment and somebody hurts your loved one, especially your mother, it's like, wait a minute, all bets are off. So I would have roughed her up a little bit, okay, and then called the cops and made them come and get her.
I definitely would have did it in a way where I couldn't be charged with anything because if you want her to reap what she sowed, get what's deserved to her because what she did was it didn't make no sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have scared her or whatever, but make sure the cops are on the way. Make sure she
Yes.
couldn't get away,
Make sure
so
she
they
couldn't get
can,
away. And be like,
yeah.
hey, make sure it's a place where there's no cameras, which a lot of places nowadays, everybody
You
have a
could have got like
camera.
a sucker punch in here and
They could
there,
have got a
but
little, a little
you
gut punch
know,
really quick and be like, that's what my mother. Now you going to
like,
jail. You
but
know
it's
what I'm
her word
saying?
against y'all's. But you got
Right.
video
But we
of
got
her
video of her doing that.
assaulting.
So a good lawyer would have got you in there for aggravated assault or whatever it is. They would have gotten her with some type of jail time. And it just sucks that she
Definitely
lost her
got that.
life. She lost her life because of her actions, and then the people who killed her will now suffer the consequences where they may lose their life too. Because I don't know how old they are, but if you get this is not just aggravated assault.
But that's
This is
murder.
like first degree murder
That's
right now.
murder. That's way
So
worse than what she would have got.
yeah,
You gotta
way
make it make
worse.
sense.
So it's like that's why I said when you give it out, you better prepare to receive it back. Press down, shaking together, and runneth over. You better be prepared for it because if you aren't, I'm sorry for you. And you can't determine your judgment. So really sucks. But yeah, true. Ciao. So anyway, well, this was a good show, Nicole. You're on here,
Yes, it was.
right? I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all enjoyed our perspective. We like getting on here, and no matter who watches, no matter who's listening, we like to get on here because it's therapeutic for us. We get on here and just talk our mess or whatever else, and and just give you a few tidbits, give you a few pieces of our minds. So we hope that you're enjoying our podcast or our, whatever we want to call it. We hope we're enjoying it, and thank you so much for watching us. Even when we're not here, I know our presence is your presence is always felt, and we appreciate all of that. So you can find us, right, Nicole? They can find us on YouTube every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at real_convos_podcast. And you can also find us on Facebook. Where at, Nicole?
Yes, at Real Conversations.
2021.
Oh, 2021.
Okay, listen, I'm not gonna let her do y'all like that. She misguide you. You run a month,
I'm
you let
so
it
sorry.
stray. I'm not gonna let her misguide y'all like that. So Real Conversations.
Listen, my head is
2021.
someplace else. I'm so sorry. Yes, you can find us on Facebook at Real Conversations 2021. That's the first time that has happened.
I know. They be trying to sabotage out. They be trying to sabotage us out here. We know.
Man.
So listen, I'm even gonna talk about that. That's another show. So again, thank you all so much for watching. Please stay safe out there. Please, please, please make the best decisions that you can make for your life and for your children's life, because if it doesn't come to you, it'll happen to your children and all future generations. So make sure you're making the best decisions for your life that will move forward with you through generations to come. So again, thank you again for watching, and God bless.